Alright, so today I just want to teach you a couple of quick things in the key of A if you're playing blues by yourself on acoustic guitar primarily. I mean, you can do this on electric guitar too, but I think it sounds really, really cool. So it's kind of like a Robert Johnson-y, I mean, a lot of guys use these. But, alright, so we're going to look at a couple of shapes here. We're going to look at this shape in the key of A. We're going to look at this shape. We're going to look at this shape. Because these three shapes you can do a lot with and spice up your blues playing, okay? So we're kind of just playing like a traditional A. Alright, so just a traditional A blues. But rather than just play a standard A7, well, this doesn't sound bad, but I want to teach you three different ways you could play an A7 in the blues. Okay, so the first one we call like a long A7. Alright, so this one is really, really cool because you can do several things with it. So what you want to do is you want to play the A string open, and then you want to bar, and this is the difficult part of this one, you want to bar from the D string all the way to the high E string, so those four strings right there, you want to bar that on the 2nd fret. Okay, and the reason you want to bar it is because you want to be able to, you can grab this high E on the 2nd fret, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But you want to bar it, and in order to make it the long A, you want to extend your pinky. This is definitely the toughest part of this entire chord. You want to extend it all the way to the 5th fret of the high E. Okay, so that's where you get that sound. You pluck it all together. And why that's cool is because if you can play the long one, you can then transition or change into another type of A7. Okay, so what that is you're changing from your pinky on the 5th fret of the high E to your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the high E, and keeping that bar. And then you can also just play it with the bar, which is everything on the 2nd fret, right? So you've got, but see how there you've got variation where you don't really have that with just a regular A7. Okay, so that's one shape. Play some variations there, like crossroads, like so you got that one. The second one is sorry about the motorcycle / car. We are outside, but it is what it is. Okay, so this next one is kind of like in a D7 shape, but you're going to slide it all the way up here. So what you can do, again, is using your thumb to pluck the open A string to let your A note go. Then underneath it, you're going to use the G, the B, and the high E. Okay, and you're going to pluck it either with just one finger, or you can use your 3 fingers on your right hand. But the notes you want would be the 9th fret of the G string, the 8th fret of the B string, and then the 9th fret of the high E. So your middle finger is going to be the 9th fret of the G, pointer finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the B, and then your ring finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the high E. So it looks like this, and then you just pluck the A string in. Now the cool things you can do with this, there's 2 really cool things you can do with this one, is you can slide that entire shape up 1 fret, and then do it again, right, for kind of a walk down. Okay, or like if you're playing like Big Bill Brunsey with Key the Highway, you can make it more major. And the way you do that is you are going to keep 2 of those notes. You're going to change one, and the way you do that is kind of this. So it's like a D all the way down here. You're sliding a D shape all the way down here. And the way you do that is you pluck the A string again with your thumb. Then your pointer finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the G string. Your ring finger is going to be on the 10th fret of the B string. And then your middle finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the high E. So you got 2 shapes right there. And you can kind of alternate back and forth between those 2 as well. So again, another variation of an A7 to kind of spice up your blues playing. Now we've got a long A. Oops. Right. All right, and then the last one is very similar. Okay. So this one, it's kind of like a D shape. Not quite though, because you're not doing it on the same strings you would do a D shape. But anyways, what it is again, you're plucking the low A, always plucking that, right? Because that's your root note. And then you're going to use your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D. You're going to do your ring finger on the 6th fret of the G, and then your middle finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the B. So that's going to look like that. Then you're going to pluck those together. And just like this shape that we learned, you can go up a whole fret. So you can do that with any, like a Robert Johnson song or just an old kind of Delta blues in A. You got these shapes now underneath your fingers, and they're really, really cool because they're all A, but they allow you to kind of spice up your playing from just doing a regular A7, and you got that one under your belt. So you got that, you got a long A7, you've got this shape, and you got this shape. So that's pretty cool, right? And then if you want to switch to the D, you can do a D7, regular D7 with just kind of getting the F sharp note. That makes it sound a little bit cooler than just a regular D7. And then of course your just standard E7 will sound just fine there. So I hope this helps, and I'm going to try to do some lessons like this, just kind of generic blues lessons. Let me know in the comments what you would want to know. I don't know everything, but I'll try to pass on anything I do know. So there you go. That's kind of a cool lesson that you can use some different types of A chords.